Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my 2007 Porsche Cayman. We're changing out the outer and inner tie rod ends. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go over some tools you'll need here in just a moment. Don't forget to hit the like. Some tools you'll need for this DIY, you're obviously going to need some type of floor jack right here, jack stands. Make sure you're jacking up on the jack points. I'm going to go over some tools here. Some tools you'll need for this DIY, there are some specialty items. This right here is just a standard pliers, 5/16 crescent wrench, 13/16 crescent wrench, lower ball joint separator tool, some bits right here. This is a 17, 19, and a 21 torque wrench, impact wrench or an air gun, and of course this is going to be the specialty tool you'll need to remove the inner tie rod end. These are my replacement parts. That is the part number. Take your wheels off. Now we're going to take your two crescent wrench, what is this, 15/16 and the 13/16. Oh, mine's loose. Mine was loose. 17mm bit. Just make sure it's seated properly. Take your lower ball joint removal tool. Stick this on the bottom. Oops. Kind of wedge it in there. Yeah. This nut down here is a 19mm. Be careful if this is your first time taking off your lower tie rod end, it's going to pop. It's going to be pretty loud. Alright. You can always tell when you need new inner tie rods. When it's soft, there should be some tension. It should be pretty stiff and held up on its own. Look at this. So it's a good indicator that your inner tie rod is pretty much shot. And of course this lower one is pretty loose as well. So it's a good time to do this. So just to get your car kind of aligned before you take it to go get an alignment, when you pull this off, just count how many rotations you have. So just back it out and just count it. So this is 1, 2, just back it all the way out. We are approaching the end of mine. It looks like mine is going to be 23. So write it down somewhere. This right here is a 21mm nut. You can back it off slowly, or you can just take it off quicker like this. Put it somewhere safe. I believe we have to reuse this on our new parts. Now you want to take your pliers, pull this clamp off. Man, look at that. It's crazy. Once you get this outer clamp out, now we need to go to the inner clamp. You'll see that little loop. Try to get a flashlight on it. Okay, there it is. Now you should be able to pull this boot down. Oh, you can hear there's fluid in there. These are one-use clamps, by the way, but your kit should have a new one. Well, I believe they're one-use life cycle clamps, but they're terrible. I hate them. Okay, now we just got to try to pull this boot off. There's probably going to be power steering fluid leaking. You can hear it. It's squishy. So this is a good indicator that I'm going to need a new power steering rack also. There shouldn't be any fluid in here. When you take this off and you spill it, make sure you clean up your power steering fluid pretty quick. Not quickly, but definitely clean it up. Oh yeah, you see it leaking already right when I pulled it off. It's full. Jesus. Alright, let's go ahead and pull this all the way off. There it is. Let me back up the camera. Make sure you wipe all that up. Just wanted to show you right when I pulled off that boot, where the inner tie rod end is right there. All this power steering fluid is leaking out. So it's one of the gaskets, or some of the gaskets is in my power steering rack is definitely leaking. So I'm gonna have to either get a rebuild one or probably get a used one online or something. So what I'm doing right now is trying to find which is the best size. This I think is going to be the best one so far. This right here just kind of clips into the inner tie rod end portion, and then you put this big pipe in there like this, and then on the other end it's just a 1/2 inch drive. So let's give it a shot. So I put that in right there. I want to put the green part on. Trying to make sure it seats properly. I either got it or I just stripped it. Just an update, I was able to get it. Actually, hold on one moment. And the correct size is right there. This thing is so shot. Look how it's so soft. Virtually no. It's soft. If you notice right there, it's obviously leaking, so I definitely needed a new power steering rack, unfortunately. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video though. This is how you remove the outer and inner tie rod end. Pretty easy DIY. You definitely gonna need some type of specialty tool like this, or if you wanted to use a plumber's wrench. But when you fasten in your inner tie rod end, make sure you torque it down to spec. I believe it's 59 foot-pounds, but of course check your manual. When you reassemble your new outer tie rod end, just make sure you turn it in following however many turns it took for you to take it out, and of course go get it aligned. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up for this video to help with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you on the next one. I'm going to make a power steering rack video as well.